Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is my next aircraft build series. The brand new Academy 148th A-10-2C. Now I got this a couple months ago. I started it only once I got to the last step of the Spitfire build. This and the F-4 Phantom are my favorite jet aircraft. I saw the kit reviews and thought this is my next plane series. My box review will be concise, with some aftermarket stuff. There are several in-depth box reviews on YouTube, and some channels have already completed it. I've put some links in the description. Chapters below for your convenience if you want to skip to the Step 1 build. Let's look what's inside. This is Sprue A. This kit has slide molding, which means a third dimension at the sides. Sprue B. The panel and rivet detail on this kit is phenomenal. Sprue C. Sprue D ×2. Sprue E. Sprue F. Sprue G. The glass. That has a small scratch in the sight glass. The PE kit comes with a nice replacement. The nose. .30mm Canon. I just got a 3D printer, and a new one of these will be made. The fuselage. the engine nacelles. This is what folks are raving about, as they come in one piece, which is awesome. The decals, and the pre-cut masks, plus 2 instruction manuals. I picked these up as they weren't too badly priced. The PE set and the seat set combined were less than half the cost of the kit. The PE set is for the Hobby Boss kit, and not the C. I knew that. I'm going to use as much as I can for the Academy kit. The PE set is just cockpit detailing. I can tell you now, I went with the kit seat and used some PE on it. We'll get into that starting with the second episode. Let's get into episode 1, the nose landing gear housing. Making your first snips on a kit is still so exciting. This is everything for the nose gear housing. Part prep was minimal. After sanding, I washed in water and alcohol. It's not a complete fit, but positive enough. You have to make sure it's perpendicular. It wouldn't go in. I checked fit on the flat side. The tab needed to be trimmed a little. The end with the tab goes into the plate. But the instructions aren't entirely clear if the bend goes in or outward. It goes like that. There's a plate that goes between these. I recommend, once you have all that plumb, CE glue it or it breaks off. There's the tiniest notch and pin for that part's fitting. There's a little groove in the wall for that pipe. Dry fitting. Now for the landing gear. I wanted to dry fit first so I could see what the angle is. I needed to open that up just a hair. I then took the whole strut back out. Alright, so that completes the building for step 1. Since the final coat is white, I primed with gray. I inspected everything for specs, seams, etc. I fixed them and reprimed where needed. Super white, despite the name, is slightly duller than regular gloss white. If you spray it at a slight angle, it'll create a natural shadowing effect. I started to add some wires and cables. There are a lot of these visible inside the actual wheel well. I used a variety of silver, copper, and coated wire. I'll paint the copper ones, and I'll trim all this when I fit it. These will attach to inside of the well. These look like they have a metallic finish in the plane. This has some red stripes in the photos. I had to touch up a little. It gets muted with the wash later. I cut the Tamiya black liner in half with VMS carrier. I then ran over all the edges with Vallejo dark steel pigment. I started at the nose and worked my way back. Pretty happy with that. We can add the landing gear later. We don't need it right now. I will paint and process this when I do the main landing gear. In episode 2, we will do up the cockpit. Here are some glamour shots. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Be well and happy modeling.